online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is Whispers, Episode 1, X Marks the Spot. I'm your host, Tauri J. Miller. Thank you for joining us. If you don't know, we are also we're on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, so make sure you go there, like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff. And if you love what we do here, make sure you comment below. Today I am joined by two wonderful hosts.
Today and forever.
Yes. Alison Dean.
Woo!
Where can they find you on the Twitterverse?
Easy, it's at the Alison Dean.
Awesome.
That's me.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah.
And April?
Hey guys, y'all can follow me at April Whisenhant.
Also
Awesome.
easy.
A little more tough, but somewhat easy.
And I'm Tauri J.
It's not
Miller,
like
as I said.
2D 1000 or something.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You can follow me at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY. Yeah.
So much whispering going on.
Why don't we jump right into
Yeah, let's dive on
general
in.
thoughts?
Oh my gosh.
Weird.
I think we both kind of turned to each other at the end and we just kind of said it's hard to segment this show right now because there's so many things and storylines that are all intersecting right now and we don't know where it's headed, so it's more like a blob of information that just came at us.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot of information, and it obviously all links together somehow.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a big portion of the show is us figuring out exactly what links together and why. But it was a lot for a first episode. Really good first episode, I thought.
I was also kind of surprised that they had already overlapped several of the storylines
Right.
where
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting
Right.
so those two had an affair. Oh, and both of their kids are gonna be
Right.
Right.
Whisperers.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what we'll call them? The Whisperers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whisperers.
Although the kids aren't whispering is the thing.
Right.
So that's
Whisperies?
they're the
Whisperies.
whisperies. They're being inducted into yeah, I like it. Let's go with
Whisperies.
that. Sure.
I mean, yeah, this show is chock full of mysteries, and they've planted so many seeds
Yes.
in this episode. I mean, and so let's start from the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we get Harper. She's hanging out in her front yard, talking to nothing. She's being whispered to, one could say. And it's time for her to play a game. She jumps into the house and starts getting them tools together, and sets a trap for her mom. I feel like this sequence was real brutal.
Yeah. The blood coming out of her mom's head when she fell out of the treehouse.
I was
Yeah.
convinced that no more mommy.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I thought she was donezo for sure.
I was actually really surprised when the father came in to take her out of the conference room that she was in and was
Yeah.
like, let's go see mommy. And I'm like, why are you going to see mommy?
We
Where
gotta
is she?
identify that body.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, mommy made it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I guess it's one thing to have her harm her mom. It's another thing to have her take the next step into killing her.
Well, but I mean, maybe that was like a lucky fall. I don't know. I mean,
It wasn't
Yeah.
that high up, though.
But it was directly on rock.
Yes! I feel she did not land on the grass.
I feel like she was meant to die, but
I
then
was
maybe
thinking
just
that
got
too.
a little lucky. But
She got lucky.
Yeah, but the fact of so this person or imaginary friend named
Yes.
Drill that's whispering to her that he can. I mean, it's not like he's just telling her things. It's almost like he's educating her as well because
Yeah.
we see her saying these words like amenable, and I'm like, what does that mean again? And so it's more than just something like kind of an imaginary thing. You can tell that it's really something.
Right. I mean, what do you guys think Drill is, or what do you think that his ultimate goal is?
I mean, know.
we have him as he's using these kids. He's coaching them. He's telling them exactly what to say to the police. He's guiding them in very precise ways. I mean, and it won't be revealed to us anytime soon. But like, I mean,
damn.
Of course not.
I mean, how do you guys think he moves? How do you think he communicates with the children?
In the trees. I don't know.
I guess something with the lights, maybe, because that's how they refer to him. They say, or one of the girls, I think just Harper actually, says that she sees him or she hears him in the lights.
Yeah.
Obviously, not obviously. I feel like it has something to do with the electricity for sure, because when we see the plane crash, it's the electricity through the rock and the lights are flashing everywhere.
Right.
So maybe something, but then I don't know. It's hard to think of little kids even just doing such strong actions by just something that they can hear and not thinking like, oh, this is weird that I can just hear this person.
Yeah. I mean, they use the idea of a game though, so I think that makes it easier for the kids to get on board.
It's a game.
Yeah. True. Minx mentions later that after kids get to a certain age, they turn. So it means that they're not as susceptible to suggestion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I imagine that is like his calculating his or her, assume. It's calculating method.
Drills. Yeah.
But speaking of Minx, let's talk about her really quickly. So she is now the chosen one, you could say. Harper's served her purpose for now. She either maybe didn't succeed as well as she could have because her mom is still alive. So Drill left her, went to Minx, and Minx scares this kid on the playground, and now she's intimidating her mom and everything like that.
Yeah.
Minx is a tough one.
Did you start to also question the fact that all of like the husbands of the kid, or all the fathers of some of these kids, they seem to have government military type jobs?
Yes.
It's definitely something it's gotta be government centered, because we see the pictures that they draw in the red, white, and blue, and then the picture of the White House, which was pretty darn good.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what they're putting our focus on, is that it's gotta be something military government based.
Like it has to be. And
Yeah.
like Drill is some alien creature that's manipulating the end of the government.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, he's searching
Here
for...
we are. I don't know.
Ultimate prediction.
Domination.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Domination. It's the domination happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
The aliens want to dominate Earth.
they do.
Well, and think about how the difference between how Minx was acting between how Harper was acting. Like, Harper seemed a little bit more
Relaxed.
like, yeah, and just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a game. Mommy, wake up. And Minx was very like, Daddy doesn't want to talk to you. I know what Daddy did. And it definitely feels like they're being... I don't know, I mean, we don't know much about, or anything, I guess, about
Right.
Harper's dad yet, or just a little bit that he works for the government, but we know that Minx's dad is in the situation to view this rock plane type thing, so
Right.
maybe that's why this being is a little, like, more in her.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that Harper is a little more innocent, so even though she's suggestible, she isn't capable as much as Minx, who seems to be a little...
I think she's older.
She's
Yeah.
older, yeah. So she's capable of more, and she's also... I think she feels a little sadistic to me.
She does.
Yeah.
She seems like she has the characteristics of a sociopath, where
Yeah.
the detective is like, she doesn't have those characteristics. I'm like, no, Minx,
Oh, I don't
she
know.
got them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, she's got some of them. That kid went running from her.
Yeah.
I wonder what he showed her.
I
told
know.
Her, and they'll never tell us ever.
No.
I actually was thinking too, because when they were in that tunnel system, I'm like, I haven't been a kid for so long. I don't
Yeah.
even. What is that thing?
Yeah.
It's the
tunnel playground.
Yeah.
With the
Playground tunnel.
Okay, sure. The endless tunnel. So if Drill communicates via the lights, well, there's no lights in that tunnel, so it's just like ambient. He's just around you, right?
Right.
Yeah, true. Sometimes they have little windows in them.
Yeah.
But-
You'd hope so. You'd
I
hope.
don't know.
I would just feel suffocated.
When he was talking to Harper earlier, he was in the trees and stuff.
Right.
So I mean,
yeah. So he's just everywhere.
yeah.
Oh god, great. It's gonna be easy to
No
pinpoint that
escape.
one.
It's like the movie It. He's just everywhere.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Great, I know. That's what I remember as a kid. I was like terrified of that. That clown be everywhere, and that's what Drill is. He's just everywhere,
Yeah.
telling kids to play his game.
Gross.
I know.
But speaking of Minx,
okay.
let's talk about our dad for a little bit.
Let's. We like her dad.
We
He's
love
awesome.
her dad.
Wes Lawrence, a member of the Department of Defense. And he was called to Africa because there was a downed plane.
I thought that was odd.
Mysterious plane.
Yeah, that was weird to me too.
Yeah.
Oh, so why? Okay, so he was called for this plane, but
Yeah.
why did they take him to view this, I guess, fake plane first before they took him to see
Oh,
what was
the
actually
wing?
going on?
No, it was
Oh,
all
it was
part
the
of the
wing.
same.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, never mind then.
So they
Forget
were
what I
like,
said.
we found this plane, but we don't care about that. We care about what
This
had
one.
the plane
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like they buried the lead. They should have been like, hey, this is weird, right?
Right.
But I guess the plane had to kind of segue into being like, aliens, guys, aliens.
I thought it was so funny. I don't know why though, but it was hard for me not to crack up while we were watching whenever Wes is looking at what we now know to be the plane rock thing.
Yeah.
And he's like tearing up. So I'm like, is that like what is
I thought
this?
he was looking at himself. Like I thought there might be a weird like the abyss moment where he was like looking at like
He's like, my future.
I didn't know what
Right.
I was about to see because it did look like he was crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like when the camera turns around, it's like, oh, it's an
Oh, it's
electrified rock.
I thought it was a tree. I mean, I didn't
I
even
did
know.
too.
Okay.
It looks like a tree at first.
A
did.
gothic tree.
Yeah.
That's my gothic tree.
For anyone who's not watching, you should switch over to YouTube right now just
This
to see
is
their,
a gothic
their
tree.
trees.
Except not smiling. I'm sorry. Definitely not.
I know, right? We're like,
Though, I mean, if you worked in a government facility which specializes in making the bizarre into the mundane, if you saw something that was kind of alien or obscure, I feel like you'd get a little emotional, like, what does this mean?
okay,
Yeah, good point.
I'm with you on that. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was just strange.
And maybe
It
there's
was.
backstory too, because obviously Wes now we know that there's a relationship that's been had between he and
Sean?
And Claire.
Claire. Oh, you're talking
between he
about,
and Claire.
yes.
So he may have seen that plane, knowing the backstory that Claire's husband has gone missing, and I don't know, maybe he just put all the pieces together really fast, and
Oh yeah, that makes
That's
sense
true,
too.
yeah.
maybe it was like, oh, we found his plane.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could see the stars or numbers, whatever it was, on the side of it.
Right.
So maybe he did know. That's true.
Yeah.
And he felt something.
He felt something. As did his assistant.
They all felt something.
He did. It was a very touching moment.
Where's
It
Sean?
was.
There was a
no
lot
Sean.
of science mumbo jumbo in this section.
Yeah.
So this giant rock formation is essentially siphoning energy from the plane. The plane landed, as far as everyone had known, in the Arctic,
Right.
but this plane is now in Africa. So it's a very long way for the plane to travel without, any means for it to get there.
Right.
Aliens.
I want to know why they thought it landed in the Arctic. I mean,
where
did they find
I think that's where the last
piece of it was found?
no,
Like the black
battery.
box?
There you go,
Yeah.
the black box thing.
Okay.
That
That's the
was
last
where
place
it
it
last
picked up.
registered, and that was as far as the fuel that it had would allow it to have gone.
Okay.
To the
Got
Arctic.
it.
So it magically appeared here.
Right.
And
Magically.
from what I understand, it seems like, because when I first saw the rock formation, I assumed that it was like some kind of meteor comet that had blasted the plane from the air, but it seemed like the formation had risen up and grabbed the plane. So, so that
creepy.
leads me to believe that there's something else within either in the Earth's surface or like something that still needs to be explained.
Right.
Heck yes.
Well, because you can tell it's like it literally is kind of feeding off of the electricity. Like when you see the little ropey electricity lines in
Yeah.
it, they're like they get I'm trying to think of a better word than engorged, but they get like engorged whenever electrified things come close to it, like when he touches it. And so it's like it's feeding whatever it is off of the plane. I just don't know how. What is it? Sean, I guess we know now, was the pilot of the plane, or a passenger on the plane at least. I don't know how he would have possibly survived, or unless they just brought him back with the power of electricity.
Yeah. I mean, I think
he was beamed up.
Yeah, I think there are definitely kind of signs that there's more teleportation going on around, because we have the plane moving from the Arctic to Africa, and also Sean being in America now would lead us to believe that he was transported in some way, because I doubt he hitchhiked from Africa to America.
I'm with you on that. I also thought it was weird. How is it? I was suspecting that plane had been stuck there for quite some time now. So how is there any energy left for there to be draining out of the plane?
To be continued. That's my best answer.
Right? I mean, like, it looked like there was nothing left out of there.
Right.
Everything had been, all life and energy and everything else, gonzo out of that plane.
Yeah, so it
but no.
would have had to have been there for at least 3 months, because that's when the husband died. And so you could also believe that maybe that electricity was the entity itself. So
I'm let me wrap my brain.
Oh, no.
Well, so that energy is, so we could assume that the alien moves through electricity, right? We've kind of established that. So that electric current was the being.
Okay.
Or at least a part of the being.
Right.
So, yeah.
Sure, okay. Let's go with it.
That's what we have so far.
Great.
Based on evidence, that is what we got.
I'll take it.
I mean, comment below if you have any theories yourselves.
Comment, tweet,
everything.
Interact, rate. Sure.
And while we're talking about it, guys, we just started the show, and we want to be number one. We want to be the best show on AfterBuzz TV and the internet itself.
Sounds good to me.
And you can help us by going to iTunes and rating us, commenting. 5 stars if you love what we're doing, 4 stars if you think we can improve, and let us know how we can do so below. Or tell us that we're awesome. We love hearing that as well.
I especially do, yeah.
Yeah, right? And if you're on SoundCloud, like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe. Go to all the places and do all the liking and subscribing and commenting, and etc.
It's all just so happy when you're liking and subscribing and commenting and being fanciful. Yes.
Who doesn't love a good thumbs up?
Seriously.
I mean,
here's one for you. Here's one for you.
We are cool.
Totally. Another way you can help us is by going to Podcast One and filling out the survey. This is on behalf of the network. This will help us figure out how to give you the best show possible.
Yep.
It'll only take 3 minutes of your time. You could even do it while you're listening to us. Go to podcastone.com, take the survey, and let us know what you think about us. Us, not just as hosts, but as a network.
Yep. Perfect. Podcastone.com.
Yeah.
Podcastone.com. I don't know what the jingle is.
Maybe we'll make one.
I think that should be
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that they pay me to do that too. That'd be great. Podcastone.com.
So let's get to my favorite character.
Oh, tell us. Who is your fave? You did not reveal this to us yet.
Claire Binnigan is such a rocking baddie.
She is.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that statement. And just because, first of all, I love Lily Rabe.
I do
She's
too.
amazing.
Yes.
But I can already tell she's just going to kill it in this character.
Oh,
She
yeah.
is. Perfect. Well done on the casting.
Yeah.
Of Lily
Yes.
Rabe in this Yeah, for sure.
She was killing it. Like, even, I just want to talk about those moments she had with her son, which were super touching.
Signing, I know we can't hang out forever. I'm like...
I know, heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Tear. It was so sweet.
And the kids on this show are really great actors.
Yeah.
I just have to point that out because, like, it amazes me every time. Every scene, I'm just like, man, I couldn't even be that good. And I'm a grown man.
I'm sure you could, but they were amazing.
We have faith in you.
Oh, shucks. Come on, guys. But I'm blushing now, guys. I can't
You
even.
can't handle
I
it.
don't even have to finish this
You
podcast.
can't handle
I have one life
Can't
now.
handle it. Sorry.
Well, so obviously her character has been out, or she's a detective, and she's
Yes.
been out some time because her husband died. Now we know he didn't die, I
Right.
guess. And now she's back because of the case, which is the Harper case, and them thinking that she premeditated a murder to kill her mom.
Right.
So it's kind of like the thing that gets her back in the biz.
I thought it was impressive at how quickly pieces were being put together with the whole, like, she just had to Google, like,
Oh, yeah.
imaginary friend drill, and then it was like, here, let me tell you, there's... Anyway, I thought that was
I think
well
that was
done.
a database that she had for the FBI.
FBI?
Yeah.
I think it's FBI.
I still thought that was...
I mean, yeah. Everything did, I will say, and it's a pilot thing where everything kind of falls into place where it needs to.
They're like, the ratings, we need you to stay with us.
Yeah.
So we're just
So
gonna...
here's
They have to give
everything
us
you
some
need to
stuff.
know.
Yeah.
Stay with us. Have a good
Stay
time.
with us. And with us, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
So yeah, she talks to Harper and she gets all this information about Drill, and then as Harper's leaving, she sees this picture and is
Runs after
Yeah,
her.
she runs. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, we believe it's too super duper totally intentional," and she's like, "No, there's a case here." And so she finds out from Harper that there was another boy that Drill had used before. And we find out that it's this kid named Jackson who had laid a pipe bomb in his house, but he was unsuccessful. He died, but
Was
his
it
mother
his
did
house
not.
or the office?
Oh, yes.
I think it was where
the-
she worked.
It was.
You are correct.
Which sounded like a government building, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was like the Westings. Or,
Yeah,
sorry, I
right.
forget the name of it, but something like that.
Yes, very
Yeah.
official.
In the West Wing.
The West Wing. Yes.
The kid blew up the West Wing.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
I swear I
crazy.
thought they said the Westings.
I think it was
totally
the
wrong.
Westings. No,
Okay.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe so.
Right.
So he blew. We don't know if he blew other people up.
No,
Right.
not
But
yet.
the bomb went off, and
bomb
she
went
clearly
off.
got hurt.
Yeah.
We see
Yes.
later, but he died.
Yeah,
Sadly.
he died. So she was admitted to a facility, and Claire and Rollins?
Yes, Rollins.
Rollins, like Henry Rollins. Her and Rollins go and visit, and Claire has this really great moment where she connects with the mom.
Yes.
Because she had just lost her husband, and the mom had lost her son. And they bond over
Finding
this.
common ground. You must find common ground. So,
Yeah.
yes, she did that. Did you think it was... so when she was telling Claire about the day that her son was doing whatever he was doing at her office...
Creating the bomb.
It sounded like he was turning, right? So it sounded like the things that he was communicating to his mother on that day where...
Yes.
What did she say? Like,
He said,
I
"I
don't
think
like
I'm
this
doing something
game. I think I'm
bad."
doing something bad. So these are things that the other kids have not...
Been able to feel yet.
No, right. Like, because I feel like they're not at the age where...
Right.
don't know.
Right.
But yeah.
Because Harper, even after, like, clearly she knows something bad just happened to her mom, and when you see her in the hospital scenes, there's no sign of, like, oh, this
Remorse
is
or anything.
possibly my
Right.
fault.
Right.
Yep.
So I think maybe, and from, we only see him in, like, 2 or 3 little flashbacks, like a couple seconds, but he definitely seemed older.
Yes.
So maybe it was at the point where he was starting to realize, so maybe the kids have to, like, get to a certain age, and then it's like they have to do their thing, or,
Yeah.
or else.
Or
Right.
else.
I mean,
Yeah.
and Minx mentions it that like once they start to turn, they start thinking too much.
Right.
So then they can start taking responsibility. Because I think that the way Harper was manipulated is that the Drill told her, "We're going to play this game, and then your mom's going to pretend like she's asleep." And that's what's going to happen. So
Right.
that she doesn't actually need to take any responsibility because she's like, "Oh, mom's playing the game as well."
That was good because I didn't think about that. I was just like, oh, she's gonna realize that her mom's hurt.
No,
But
yeah,
yeah.
that's probably what it is. I agree. The game.
The game is a fool.
The game.
Yeah, so we get that moment, but And then after that, she goes home, has another touching moment with her son. So cute.
Yeah,
so adorable.
it was. It was very lovely. Very good.
I'm actually really sad that, which this is, we're not there yet, obviously, but I'm really sad that we see that Henry, her son, is one of the Whisperees.
Yeah.
The Whisperees. We're going with it, Tauri.
Yes.
He's gonna
Hashtag Whisperees.
He's gonna be like an innocent, and he's not gonna be affected by it.
He's totally affected by
it.
Actually, I really liked that.
Yeah?
Because to me, whenever I'm watching something, I like to try to predict everything that's ever going to happen.
Me too.
And so I thought that he was going to be the only person immune to the aliens or the whisperers.
Because his dad is.
Yeah, because he was deaf. So it's like they can't whisper to him.
Oh, no, I was thinking because his dad, not because he was deaf. I was saying because his dad is like the
drill,
whatever he
pretty
is.
much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. We're going to get to his dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought that they were going to be like, oh man, he's going to be the one to save
Nope.
the day because he's the only one who can't be affected.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
They're pulling a rug up over us on this one.
Which was great.
Yeah.
I love being surprised, and it was a good turn.
We were like, he's gonna protect him. Yeah, no, Henry is not safe.
No.
Wait, so do y'all think he's gonna pretend? So obviously at the end we see him Henry talking out the window, and he says, "Thank you for this,
and I love
gift."
you.
Yeah.
But he says, "I love you," and I wonder.
That's like drill. I'm telling y'all. But so you think he's gonna pretend that he doesn't have his hearing back?
I think so.
Okay.
Because he says this is going to be our little secret. Yeah.
Well, for a second I was like, is he just gonna say like
the relationship's their little secret?
Right. I was thinking like maybe he would just, be like, I can hear again, and then they would be like, it's a miracle, and he wouldn't say that.
That's possible.
That he got it from-
drill or whoever gave me my hearing back.
Right.
Ooh,
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out next week, but
I mean, though I would say that if he did pretend he was deaf, it would make him an even better sleeper agent.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
So,
absolutely.
storytelling-wise, I want that. I need it. I have to have it.
Okay, you hear
Need
that,
it,
ABC?
want it, gotta have it.
Yeah.
Tauri needs it.
So
Done.
Hope
I
you
know
went
you've
that
already
way.
done that. Yeah.
Let it be done.
Or else.
But let's talk about his father real quick. John Doe, or should we say Sean
Sean.
Doe? Am I right?
You are right. He was creepy McCreepster in the first scene whenever he's standing across the street.
Yeah.
And I just thought, later whenever he's in the hospital and you're seeing all of his tattoos, the fact that he has the treehouse tattooed on his arm, I'm like, what the freak? Mm-hmm. Do y'all think... So I think he is Drill, essentially.
I mean, I think that, he could be basically the carrier for Drill.
Right.
So it's controlling him, taking him wherever they need to go.
Yes.
But at the same time, I feel like it's a red herring. I feel like he is connected to it, and so like he probably is drawn to wherever Drill is, but I don't think that they are one and the same.
I agree with you on that.
Yes, I do too. What I mean by that, not because I do think that he's just like this person who this thing is controlling.
Yeah.
But I think he's
like the host body.
Basically he is who is communicating to these kids somehow, because he's been in every situation. I mean, they draw the pictures of this man, or she drew. No, they didn't draw the pictures of him, but he's been. I mean, we see him outside the house.
Right, and he's
Clearly,
writing their names.
Right, he was with the boy who died. So clearly or that's how they got this amazing drawing of him from the words. He has tattoos and eyes that look like there's nothing in them, and then all of a sudden it's this like brunette, shadowy man.
This is the kind of person who would have those tattoos.
Exactly.
Yeah, more beard.
So I feel like he is the person who's communicating these messages to these kids somehow. And because when he's outside on the fence, he's like writing the names on the little
That's the
piece of
part
paper.
where I'm not sure. It's as though like his body is being used for some kind of, he's watching what's happening.
Right.
Although it's obviously, now we know there's a piece of him that's still being like possessed, and then there's a piece of him that's still like, I can be human and speak English and talk normally, but I have no recollection of who I am as an individual, kind of a thing. But I'm not convinced that he's the one that's actually the direct line of communication to the kids. Like, I feel like
Right.
he's just some weird, like, watcher
Right.
person. And actually, even when Harper went into the hospital to see him, it's like she was drawn to him. She knew that there was that they were connected on some level.
Right.
Yeah.
But she didn't call him Drill, did she?
No.
She
No.
said you know
She
where
said
he
you know
is.
where he is. Yes.
And they say that oh yeah, she did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, throw my theory out though.
No, but yeah, I
mean-
can see why.
It could still be
Right.
the case where he is the main, like he can serve as the main body, and while he is not possessed, he regains his consciousness because while he's in the hospital, Minx is still talking to Drill.
Right.
So, but in that same moment, he has regained his sentience.
Right.
So, like,
I wonder what happened to make him not be possessed for that amount of time.
I know. I agree with you on that.
Like, how does it go? I wonder how it goes in and out.
I have a
he had
like,
food. I don't know.
I have a theory that that.
I'm like, I love Tauri's theories.
I
What
know.
is the theory?
Well, I mean, I kind of like said it already, and that like I think that they're composed of electricity, and that's how they communicate with us because thoughts are composed of small electrical synapse firing,
Right.
and so
Okay.
I think that's the main medium. So like they have him in his brain, and they can kind of live there. But then when he's not there, he can live on his own synapses. These are
Makes sense.
synapses.
These are
Pew,
synapses.
Pew pew pew.
Okay. All right. Synapses.
Anyways.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. All right.
We'll go with that one too.
I mean that. Yeah, we'll
like
find
it.
out. It's episode 1.
It's episode 1.
They're like, you're wrong. It's magic.
Warlocks.
So I feel like, I mean, is there anything that you guys think we missed? Anything that you still have burning inside of your brains?
Not really. There was a lot of information,
There was tons of
Yes.
information.
but at the same time, we could keep up. I feel like we can keep up. I don't know. I'm already ready for episode 2. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yes. I'm curious about things. I
too.
mean, I definitely think that they're going to, dive deeper into the backstories of things that we're missing.
Yeah. I mean, just for the sake of covering it, Claire was having an affair with Wes. We mentioned it offhand, but that was a thing that was happening.
Right.
Guys, awesome.
Awesome. And that's how. Because. And I'm forgetting Minx.
Yeah.
She knows that Mommy, Daddy, I know Dad did something bad, and you try to pretend like you're not mad at him, but you are. And then that's when she calls him, and then that's when we realize that Wes is her husband. But Wes hooked up with Claire, but Claire's married to Sean, and oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
it's a whole love story.
Well, I guess another big reveal was that after Claire saw that drawing of what Miss
Basically,
Bennings,
the president.
No, the drawing of who she saw after her son blew the place up.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Jackson's
it was her.
mom, yeah.
It looked like her husband.
Right.
So her husband, and she got the call from Wes saying your husband's not dead. He's officially missing. And then up pops the drawing.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is
Husband
walking the
is Sean.
streets.
Oh, yeah.
Sean may
He
be
is.
Drill. Who knows?
He is walking the streets. Her husband is. So that I'm very curious about how all that's gonna go.
Me too.
Yes,
Which means
it's time for
time-
predictions.
Yes,
isn't
it is.
Oh gosh,
It's that time.
I have none.
Now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
I know. It's like, where do you go from here? It's like, what?
Well, I mean, you can predict on either the season as a whole or the
I like
next
that Tauri's
episode.
like. I was like, we know. We
Yeah.
just are like. It was more of like.
No, I know. This is for people
Oh, for
who
everyone else
haven't-
out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
This
You
might be
weren't telling
someone's
me.
first AFTERBUZZ show.
Here's how it's gonna work. We're just gonna tell you that we might wear a different lipstick next week. No, just kidding.
I really don't know. I mean, I feel like death is probable for some people.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like it's definitely a bigger scheme to get to somebody major in the government. Who that may be, we don't know. I think that obviously they're just going to go straight through the kids. It worries me that some of the kids are going to be the ones to get hurt, but I don't know. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
People
I like
will
it.
die, and it will be someone from the government.
Fair enough. I will accept this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that we're going to, like, more stuff is going to must occur between Claire and Wes.
More stuff will
Stuff
happen.
is going to happen.
Stuff is going to happen.
Things are going to
things
occur.
are going to occur. Well, here's the thing. They obviously don't want to communicate with one another, and now they will need to. Or
Right.
there's some level of, now there's
Yes, she's going to have to
stuff
try to
over-
find him.
No, with Wes. Her
Yes.
and Wes are going to have to talk. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
she's
yes.
going to probably go after, try to figure out why her husband is the guy that everyone is drawing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now that he's not dead and just missing. So, yes, I think that, thank you for helping with that prediction. Sure, I will take that, Tauri. But also, I think that there's going to be some more stuff. I'm going to go with stuff happening.
Oh, sweet.
Stuff is the right word for me. Between Claire and Wes.
Nice.
I think so
it's-
too.
And they're not going to like it because they don't want to talk to each other because obviously they have feelings still that they are trying to suppress.
Yes.
Yes. So many
Nice.
S's.
Yes,
and yes, and
suppress.
yes.
Yes,
What a double
suppress.
stuffed prediction.
There we go.
I concur.
Yeah. I guess for me, general predictions are as follows.
Oh, wow.
Here's my giant
I
list.
know.
No, I mean, I'm assuming that Wes is going to come back and he's going to. I'm hoping that in a confrontation between him and Sean, everyone decides to band together and try to figure this out. I know that there's going to be a while spent where everyone's going to be super duper incredulous. I don't even think the idea of aliens is going to come in for a very long time. But I think that I assume that Drill will start gathering kids and they're going to form this child army.
Oh, wow.
And so, because if you're trying to take down a government, he's going from kid to kid to kid. He already has, 3 in the mix now? Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that they all get together and because for me, it's a big dramatic thing to have all these kids be this, you can't have a show where kids are the tools and not have the conflict of, can we defend ourselves against these children?
Right.
Can we,
Oofda.
I mean, yeah.
That reminds me of a time that I was in the airport, totally off base right now, but it makes a point, I promise.
Okay.
And maybe the family was TSA pre-checked, but I don't think they were. And this little kid had these boots on, and they're just like, "Oh, come on through." And I'm like, any genius could be hiding something in this kid's boots right here. He didn't go through the metal detectors, anything. And I was like, I mean, maybe I don't know, but people
What
don't
was in the
suspect.
boots?
People don't suspect children,
That is
and they
true.
just think obviously, clearly someone's working through them, but they're innocent. So, what can you do, pretty much?
Right.
So that's why it ultimately will work, or
Yeah.
could work.
They're vastly underestimated.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my general prediction. Really looking forward to the next episode.
Me too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the season.
I know.
So I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's go through some social media. Let's start with April.
Yeah. Hey guys, y'all can follow me. Hey guys, y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
I'm Alison Dean, and you can find me on all social media at the Alison Dean, and tomorrow night on Unreal and Bloodline. Woo!
Nice.
And The Messenger's on Sunday.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
With Tauri!
Messengers.
FOMO.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Tauri J. It's TaurijAY. Once again, thank you for joining us. We're so excited to start the season. Please stay with us.
Yes.
Also, if you have the time, make sure to like, subscribe, and go to Podcast One and fill out our survey. Do all or some, or whatever. Have a good time. Thanks again for joining us, and have a wonderful night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.